Hello and welcome to EE 447. I'm your instructor, Gregory Myers. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to set up our Wix website to be able to use it in our EE 447 class for some of our assignments. The first thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and create a new account with Wix. You can do so by creating an account with a username and password, or simply logging on with Facebook, Google, or Apple. In this case, I went ahead and tied one to my gmyers@uab.edu, although that is not necessary. In this particular example, this is clearly being tied to a course, so in this case, I'm going to use my uab.edu. And then when we log in, we're sort of given this wizard to be able to create then a site. We're going to go ahead and create a new site. It'll ask you what type of sites you would like to create for the purposes of EE 447. I can recommend to you one of two possibilities I'd like for you to entertain is either a blog or a portfolio and CV. Those two options kind of fit closest to what we'd like to do for this class. Definitely leaning a little bit more toward the portfolio and CV. Just for the purposes of long term, should you like to continue with this project and then ultimately use it in conjunction with your resume. You can see some other templates, but once again, we're going to focus on the portfolio and CV. And then what we can do here is we can let their ADI create a website for you, or what we'd like to do is create your website with the editor. I'm going to select edit a template. And at this point, then you get a number of options there as far as what type of template you'd like for your portfolio. Once again, I'm interested in you having a little bit of fun with this, so I'd encourage you to try to explore this, use a little bit of creativity as far as which template you'd like to use. You can see, you can sort of narrow down the options here, portfolios. Portfolios, the intention there is that you would include pictures and descriptions of projects that you've worked on, not necessarily just in EE 447 or in EE classes, but maybe in some of your non-EE classes as well. So even though the idea of a portfolio is usually thought of as an artistic event or a artistic artifact, we can definitely use them as well when it comes to advertising ourselves for the purpose of jobs. And so once again, at this point, then you just simply want to pick a nice template that appeals to you, or like I said, go back to the all, and you can just go ahead and use a creative CV. Either of those are fine. I'm not really looking for a specific one, but rather the process. I want you to get familiar with using a tool like Wix. And so hopefully this helps you along the way. We'll be coming back to Wix multiple times. I'm going to go ahead and give you additional projects to be put on your Wix site. Please note a couple of questions that I had was related to personal identification on these sites. I am encouraging you to use this as a portfolio, as a resume builder. However, if you are not comfortable with that and putting your name on the internet, I respect that. I respect your personal privacy. All I ask that you do is you create a legitimate alias that is, might be representative of someone like you, essentially, and then at that point, then you basically just post using that alias. You don't have to give your personal information. That's not what we're interested in. What we're interested in is the process. So for instance, if you want to use another photograph of someone else, as long as you let me know that's what you're doing, that's perfectly fine. The idea is if you want to consider this as that you are doing this as a proxy for someone else, that's perfectly fine. And so same thing when it comes to personal opinions that you might have or things along those lines. Remember that you want to essentially use this as an opportunity to practice building a website, in this case, a portfolio, but at the same time, you want to be careful about your personal information maybe not disclose necessarily your personal opinions and so on. So if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to email me. And thank you for watching.